This is a guide on how to make a state machine based off of the state diagrams in Quartus Prime version 17. To begin, we will open a state machine file in the new section. Once this is open, add as many states as needed. For this project, 4 were used. From there, click the Transition Tool button and connect the nodes to match the state machine you're attempting to build. It's also important to put in an input and an output. For this, we will be using X and Y. Then, start editing the properties by right-clicking on them and selecting the values for which you want this state machine to function. For this, we are using X and tilde X. Tilde X is representing the opposite of X. After this, go into the State Machine Wizard function and select Edit an existing state machine design and go to the Actions tab where you can set the actions of the outputs. Then you can fill out the actions. When the input is tilde X while it is any state other than 0, the Y output will be high. This is a summary of what we filled out in the Actions tab. If you run the state machine file, it will give you an error as an output. Click the Generator HDL file and select VHDL and save that file. Next, open ModelSim and go to File, New Project, and select the folder that the Quartus file you designed exists in. After this, a menu should pop up and you should select Add Existing File from that menu. Then add the VHD archive from the project folder. Once you have this, close that menu and right-click the VHD file and go to Compile Selected or Compile All. They both work. After that, go to Simulate and it will load your inputs. Go into the Work folder and select your file. Next, select the inputs and outputs that you want on the waveform, except for the reg state. Right-click these and click Add to Wave. Next, you want to set a clock for your clock input by right-clicking on it and selecting the clock icon. In this case, we kept the period the same and set the edge to falling. After this, set your inputs for what you want the simulation to be. This can be done by right-clicking the inputs and forcing them to high or low in the Force section. This can be a little tedious as you have to do it slowly with your inputs that are irregular. When you're ready to run, select the Run button, which should be next to the period selection. This may be on the original window, so you may have to select between it and the waveform window. And as you can see, you get a waveform. You can then force your inputs down and up again as needed. This part can be repetitive, so we will cut to the end to show you the final output wave. This will match what Quartus should output. After this, you will get your final waveform with which state is running at the bottom of the waveform. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.